Good morning, tribe, and welcome back to another Galaxy of Heroes video with me, your bald-headed boy, Scribble. As you are all aware, and if you're not, where have you been? Balon's Skull is coming to the game tomorrow. Make sure you join our live stream. We will be doing the live unlock day one with a little bit of testing, probably, maybe. We'll see how that goes right as soon as it gets unlocked. And if you can't watch the VOD, don't worry, I will have a full video guide for the event available straight afterwards. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. It seems like we've had a little bit of a sneak preview of what's coming in the event tomorrow due to some data mines. But not only that, we have had a indication towards what is the next new Lightspeed Bundle. So we're going to have a little bit of a chit chat about that. Let's break this down. The first thing that I want to talk to you guys about is going to be some of the icons that we have identified that are coming as part of Balon's event. These have been data mined through Swigger events. These usually are indicative of the character portraits and the ability icons that we are going to associate with characters within the event. This has been confirmed. We can see this with Balon's Skull's abilities that are also matching up to what we saw in his kit reveal. So it is suggesting currently, the data mines are currently suggesting that we are going to be facing off against the new GL Ahsoka and Padawan Sabine. Now, we have been theorizing that Padawan Sabine is going to be the next marquee for GL Ahsoka, probably due in the next 2 weeks or something like that. But I want to stipulate here that this is still speculation, okay? This is still speculation, and even though they clearly have a Padawan Sabine ready for this event, that does not necessarily mean that we are going to get this as an unlock, okay? Just because it's in the game files doesn't mean she's going to be a marquee. Now, I'm still going to say, yes, I believe she is still coming as a marquee, but I just want people to hold their horses. This is not confirmation of a marquee. If it were up to me, I would suggest that Padawan Sabine is most likely going to be the next marquee for GL Ahsoka, and then we will probably have Hu Yang coming after that. It might be the other way around, but considering it looks like at least part of the kit and the modeling is done already, it's quite likely that this is something that's coming soon. So all we can say from this is we've seen 3 new icons over here for the new GL Ahsoka, or what I'm assuming is GL Ahsoka. Looks pretty cool, looks pretty on point. We've got her double lightsabers, we've got a kick ability, and we've got some sort of really powerful action pose coming from Ahsoka. Not much that we can tell about Padawan Sabine other than looks like she's got whistling birds and a lightsaber attack. Now, personally, I'm hoping she's got more than 2 active abilities in her kit, but hey, like I said, this is all early days and speculation at this point. Needless to say, though, I am quite happy with seeing these icons in the game, and it does confirm a few things for me, which is just kind of cool. I'm hoping that this is kind of the kit design that we get for Ahsoka instead of the white robes, but we'll wait to see if it is the final version. Of course, Ahsoka Tano, whose new GL event is supposed to come at the end of the year, is still about a month and a half away, and we have been waiting for 2 months to find out what the additional requirements for her are. We only recently had confirmed that CT Rex, Clone Trooper Rex, is one of the requirements at Relic 7. We had that with the Balon Skull kit reveal, so like I've said, I wouldn't be surprised at all if in about a week or 2 we get Padawan Sabine as the next marquee event, and then we'll get the 3rd set of requirements confirmed for GL Ahsoka. So just to show you guys here within the Swigger Events Discord server, you can see Sig here. He has sort of extracted or downloaded from the asset files of the game. We've got the basic of Balon, we've got a special, we've got a second special, and here are the abilities that we just saw for GL Ahsoka and for Padawan Sabine. Now these are the unique abilities that are active. These still line up to what we saw in the kit reveal. For Balon Skull, the unique abilities that gives him benefits with Shin and Marok, and that's his own unique here. You can see Padawan Sabine and Balon and GL Ahsoka over here. Looks like we're going to be gaining some additional marquee packs, most likely for Captain Enoch, Night Trooper, and Death Trooper. That's what that looks like to be. This looks like it is the journey guide artwork that we see for Balon Skull within the game. And then further down over here, we get to see an indication of what is going to be the very next Lightspeed Bundle, which is going to be for OG Chewbacca. We'll take a look at that in just 1 minute, but the only other thing that I will say is it looks like we've got confirmation of what Balon Skull's relic amplifier is going to be. Looks like it's going to be his lightsaber. No real surprises there. And it looks like we're going to be gaining ourselves a new portrait for Balon Skull, as portrayed by Ray Stevenson. So let's talk a little bit about this new Lightspeed Bundle for Chewbacca then. So the Chewbacca event has been in the game since, I want to say, December 2018. Might have been 2019. I think it was 2018 though. So have a quick sip of tea. And he is a solid unit, but his primary focus, really, I would say, is to go into CLS team. There are a couple of other janky things that you can do, like people were doing the old Toxic Layer comp, throwing in Han and Chewie into a Toxic Layer team. He's got some viability in Scoundrel teams where you can throw him into like a BAM lead or even a dash lead in 3v3 or 5v5 for GAC, and he does okay there. Overall, relatively solid legendary to unlock. Not bad, nothing amazing, right? But if we take a look at the various characters that are coming with this, I think it's clear to see why this is having a Lightspeed Bundle right now. And that does tie back into Balon Skull. Is this kit going to be worth it? Is this Lightspeed Bundle going to be worth it? It's hard to say right now because we don't know which of these characters we're actually going to get at what relic levels. What I can probably assume is that the ones that we get as part of this kit are most likely going to be focused more in line with those that have the mercenary tag, which a lot of these characters do. So the Chewbacca event just requires any 7-star bounty hunters. It doesn't have a prescribed list of characters, it just goes by faction. But we know, for example, that Jango Fett, he has the mercenary tag, right? Yeah, Jango Fett has the mercenary tag. Kasantan, he has the mercenary tag, so maybe we'll get them. Bauschlayer does not have the mercenary tag. She is not a mercenary. She was a spy, right? Zam Wessel over here, she does have the mercenary tag, so maybe we'll be getting this. Boba Fett Sign of Django, I think we can almost guarantee will not be part of this Lightspeed Bundle. Typically speaking, they do not add, like, event unlocks to these packs. Yes, there was an exception with Kiadi Mundi, and that was due to very deliberate feedback from the community about the difficulty to unlock, but I don't think that they're going to include Boba Fett Sign of Django. They may well include the likes of Fennec Shand, potentially, which will help people on their way to getting other unlocks, which is great. Maybe we'll get someone like Grief Karga, but I doubt it. I don't think we'll get Bosk, just because, one, he's not a mercenary, and two, he is featured in other Lightspeed bundles. Dengar, maybe. He is a mercenary, does have a brand new ship, so it might be in the pack. And then you've got the likes of, IG-88, and you've got Embo. Embo is a mercenary as well. OG Mando over here, for some reason, is quite literally a mercenary, but doesn't get one. And then we've got the likes of Aura Singh over here. So, now, I think the main concern with this set of requirements is that, one, typically for the most part, they tend to be older characters. So these are characters that don't require a whole lot of Chirotech to unlock or to gear up to high relics. And two, before we know the price point, it's hard to say. All I can say is that if we are getting a Chewbacca Lightspeed Bundle and you're missing a couple of these relic levels and it's within 10 to 20 bucks, it may well be a worthwhile investment for you, and it will help bulk out your mercenary faction. Now, what I wouldn't be surprised to see is, as part of this pack, that maybe CG, for some reason, include Hondo Onaka, just because of the very unique callouts that they have with Balon Skull. Nothing actually fully confirmed at this point, guys, but I would expect to see this new Chewbacca Lightspeed Bundle dropping into the game with the update that's coming at the end of the day today that will introduce the event for Balon Skull that's going live tomorrow. The very last thing that I wanted to talk about before we wrap up this video today is that CG has finally announced what changes or buffs they are going to be making to the TIE Dagger as part of the Leviathan lineup. Just a little backstory for those of you that are not fully clued in on what the problem was here. The problem was the Punishing One was ridiculously overpowered, in my opinion, for what is essentially just a marquee ship release. It elevated that fleet to be so very, very powerful against literally everything, and it was just dominating the holotables. Now, the problem came when it came to Leviathan matches. They wanted to make sure that the Leviathan still held very well against the Punishing One, but everybody was using a Sith Assassin or a Sith Fighter starting lineup in Leviathan matches because it was superior for the mirror match. So their solution was, let's buff the TIE Dagger to make that the de facto starting ship and the starting mirror match lineup for Leviathan mirror matches. They have buffed it. The problem is Leviathan mirrors are now going to be horrendous. Yeah. And it's also ruined the Chimera counter to the Leviathan, as far as I can tell. I haven't done any testing yet, guys, so let's take this with a pinch of salt. I'm not going to show you old Dagger crew ability, new Dagger crew ability. All that's really changed is that TIE Dagger is gaining 40% max protection instead of the old 20%, and the most significant thing here is this additional line at the end. If the allied capital ship is Sith, so this does not work if you use the TIE Dagger in like a finalizer comp, whilst the TIE Dagger is active, enemy dark side ships can't gain turn meter, including the capital ship. So in practice, what this means is Sith fighter starting lineups rely on being able to either go first or to attack under protection and start that turn meter rolling, right? That's how they like to get that done. However, if the TIE Dagger is on the field, there is no turn meter gains, so it means there's no reason for people to start running Sith Assassin, like at all in the fleet comp, because it'll only come into play after you remove the TIE Dagger. Now, this does have impacts on the Chimera matchup, which is very, very reliant on turn meter generation. Okay, and because it is a dark side fleet, that means you are definitely not going to be getting a successful win rate with the Chimera anymore. It is now off the tables. The only thing that looks like it's going to work as a proper counter against Leviathan is potentially some of the light side comps. There is a little bit of hope for things like Negotiator. There's a very little bit of hope for things like Profundity to beat the Leviathan. If those are off the cards for you, your last hope is mirror match RNG with Leviathan. I'm not a fan of this change. I will be honest, I understand why they've done it. They've tried to disincentivize using Sith Assassin. However, this means for all the people that have invested into, say, Relic 9 Sith Assassin, which I still don't recommend, I still never thought it was a great idea, those people are having their investment largely removed, because it's not really going to be helping them in ships anymore. You can still get a little bit of use out of Sith Assassin with, like, a Bane team, or, like, throwing him into sea or something like that. Her under sea, apologies. But in my opinion, that's still, like, not a good reason to have a Relic 9 character. I'm really concerned that buffing the TIE Dagger in this way is just going to make fleets less enjoyable. Okay? I think that's my take on it first and foremost. You know, like, the max protection makes it tankier, so it's harder to take out, which means, you know, maybe the enemy will have a harder time in taking it out in time for you to actually gain the advantage of having a Leviathan fleet. But mirror matches are just going to be horrendous, and we've taken away another counter as a result of this. I feel like it could have been a little bit more specific to try and make it only counter Leviathan matches, or perhaps be just a little bit better at holding versus the punishing one again. I feel like this is going too far in another direction. That's just causing issues. Now, I want to say that on principle, I don't want the Leviathan to be unbeatable. I really don't. But in reality, when you have something as powerful as the punishing one come to the game, there's no reason to go ahead and chase after the Leviathan, right? Why would you spend 2 Relic 9s on Darth Revan and Malak and then get 2 Conquest characters in, you know, the Fury class Interceptor and Malgus to unlock this incredible top-end meta fleet when you could just get arguably a far easier capital ship to unlock that requires no Relic 9s and just Marquees to unlock and do everything better. You know, so I understand why we need to have that incentive there to push for Leviathan. I just don't think this is the right response. I think this is going to make people dislike Fleet even more. Or people are just going to set all the meta fleets on defense and just pretend like Fleet doesn't exist. They're just going to be like, yep, Leviathan on defense, we've got the Executor on defense, and then maybe we'll throw in Profundity as well, because why not? And then watch people never clear fleets in GAC and Territory Wars. I don't know, guys. I don't know. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this change? I'm not enamored yet, but I haven't done any testing, so we'll find out soon, I guess. But that is going to about do it for me today, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know in the comments section down below what you think about this new news. Do you think Padawan Sabine is coming to the game, or will you be buying the Chewbacca Lightspeed Bundle? Would love to hear your thoughts. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing. And a huge shout out to my wonderful patrons. You guys are the business. I'll see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.